Happy Monday. We are live. If you are watching this on the replay, we go live every Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific time, and we talk about something to do with running an online business, usually eBay. We venture into Etsy and Poshmark and all the others as well, but so welcome everybody. We have a live chat going on over here, and I see all you awesome people over there already chit-chatting. I have a guest in the house today. She's not here. She's not going to be on camera, but Bree is here helping me organize, and we're going to the bins today. Yes. So had to get a little organizing done to feel good about taking off and going and doing a little shopping. So finally going to get to those new bins that they just opened here in, well, it didn't just open. It opened months ago, but everything feels like just happened, right? So our topic today might have some of you on edge, but I was thinking about this morning, kind of analyzing what's happening over in my Facebook group. I run a Facebook group called Niche to Profit on eBay, Etsy, and more. And we get a lot of posts that kind of had me thinking about this topic and what we can do to solve this issue. So a lot of the questions I see, and now I'm not finger pointing at anybody. I'm just going to give this up front. This is not meant to offend. This is meant to help. This is meant, if you're in this rut, to get you out of this rut and to help you learn how to run your business more effectively. Okay, so that I'm going to say that right out there, out front, because I know I'm going to get some nasty comments on this one. Not from you guys in the chat. You guys are good. It's all after the fact that I get the comments. But so we get questions where it is extremely obvious the person has not done any of their own research. And so that's where the lazy part comes in. We are in a fast food society. This is what I call it. I remember the days where we didn't have phones and pagers and the internet, and I said pagers, didn't I? That's what I started with. But we didn't have ways to just go ask somebody else for information. We had to figure it out ourselves, and that was usually with the library, encyclopedias, different reference books, all of that. So if you wanted to learn something back then, you had to go dig for it. You had to go learn. Now we have so many resources to find stuff. And one of those is asking people on social media, which I am not in any way saying that's a bad thing, okay? Please don't take me wrong on this. Yes, I did say pagers. You guys are catching up to it. There's a little lag between what I say and then the chat. So you guys are just now hearing me say that. So it's kind of funny to watch the comments. Sometimes things just slip out of my mouth. But here's the thing. I have a tremendous knowledge of glass and antiques and collectibles and art. I have that stockpiled in my brain from years of doing the research, of actually looking the stuff up, of going out and feeling the stuff and having it in my hands and looking it over and just learning. And I think that's a piece that a lot of new resellers want to cut out. You want the fast track. I mean, that's why the YouTube videos and it's so popular. You want to just absorb the information. But truly, this is why I am big on niche, is if you pick something that you're passionate about learning and you just apply everything you got into learning about that, you no longer need to ask for help. Better than that is you no longer need to walk in the store and have this thing in your hand to have to look things up. Remember, back when I started this, we didn't even have these. Let's just think about that. There was no way to look something up on your phone. You just had to have an instinct. You had to have a gut. You had to build that. And that's what I am all about, is just encouraging you guys to just build that inner confidence that says, Yeah, I can pay 20 bucks for that because I know it's worth at least 40. You know, that sense. You don't need to know exactly what it is. You don't need to have somebody tell you the exact pattern or that. If you learn to feel the quality, workmanship, signs of age, all of those things, it doesn't matter exactly who done it. You can go home and Google and find that, right? And of course, there are things that you're just never going to find. And I address that too all the time, is that you just need to know enough to know whether it's worth this much or whether it's worth this much. And that comes from knowing the quality and the workmanship and the age and all of that. I still have my research books. I still, like, I'm going to be switching things around and doing my live sales from another room that we've been working on. I'm really excited about. And then I'm going to get all of my research books in here because I still love, there's nothing like handling a book to me. I've given you guys in some of my videos where I go into specific topics, like the books that I use. I still use the Florence identification books. There's 4 volumes. They are not price guides. They are identification books. And I have spent, I don't even know how many hours just thumbing through those pages and learning and finding, you know, the patterns that I had in the pieces of glass and kind of just learning like something new every time I do that. So they're valuable. And there's a real science behind hand to brain learning as well. Reading something is not going to stick with you as much as writing it, having it in your hands, reading it, all of that. So let me just look over and catch up on the comments real quick and make sure that I didn't have any questions thrown at me. Vintage and Vino says, I swear I spend tons of time researching, and when I can't find it, I turn to social media. I actually enjoy the research. Yeah, I enjoy the research too. Here's the thing. Only spend that tons of time if you're doing it for that education. If it is to get something listed, I don't recommend you spend tons of time. Now, here's the thing I find is that most of the time, the reason you're not finding it is because your search parameters are too narrow. Because remember, if you don't know what the item is to begin with, you may be putting the wrong words in to search for it if you're going too narrow. So that's why I start a research with, I always run into this problem. Okay, let me, for instance, if I didn't know what this was, okay, I would put in what I know. Blue, glass, and you can use, and this, now I'm trying to, like, I'm struggling because I know it's a candy dish. So I'm struggling, but okay, so if you kind of know what it is, put in candy dish. But if candy dish doesn't come back with the results you want, don't get stuck on candy dish. Then go to jar or dish, or, you know, try something else, that kind of thing. It's when you start putting in things such as blue, glass, I'm trying to use the example I just gave you. Blue glass dish with lid stripes or something like that, because you're trying to, like, name the different things. And when you go in too deep like that, you don't get the same results. And I'm not saying that is what you did or didn't do, but it's just something that I've seen, is that people try putting in words that take out the words that they're looking for. That one's actually stretch glass. It's actually stretch glass. I asked about Echo Glass, not because I want to research it, but to know why it's special to you. What makes it interesting, not to resell it. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, that's a totally different thing. So what I'm referring to, you guys, I'm not saying it's bad to ask for help. What I'm saying is that if you really want to learn about something, digging in and doing that research is the way that's going to come to you, and you're going to get better at it. Let me give a visual example, because I know you guys, some of you are visual learners. Get my screen shared here. Okay, so I'm on eBay. Okay, let me just put in that search, blue glass, and I'm gonna say, I don't know what it is. I'm gonna call it a jar. Okay, I got 350 results. The first thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sort by highest first. Okay, sorting by highest first not only helps me see the more valuable glass, but I can see what else comes up in that search. But what I really want to know is what is selling in that search. So I'm going to go there first. 162 results is not bad to go through. But what I'm seeing is like, okay, maybe I don't have a jar because this isn't really the same shape. So what else might this be called? Because jars are coming back as jars. And that's when you see something else and you can get nudged and go, oh, candy. Oh, maybe it's a candy dish. But I won't even put in dish. I'll put in candy. Now we've got a lot more to cover. This is where it can get a little tricky, but this is also where you learn. Because look, I can look through here and go, oh, look at that. There's a Blanco sells for $300. I can look for that. And then here's, oh, that's really close to what I have. They're calling it a candy jar. Maybe I should call it a candy jar. You know, and then you can kind of just deep dive from there. But doing this big open search also shows you other things to be looking for in that genre. Does that make sense? Just trying to help it make sense. How do you know whether to sell something on eBay, Poshmark, or Etsy? Well, depending what it is. So Poshmark, I find, is really about the clothes, shoes, and accessories. You can sell home goods there, but remember the demographic that is shopping there. That's your key. The demographic that is shopping on Poshmark, they're the millennials and younger. So the antiques, collectibles market, they don't see the same value in that over on Poshmark unless it is about decorating in a cool style. That's the kind of stuff you want to list there as on home. Etsy has always been about the homemade, handmade community. Yes, they allow vintage, but remember, it's really built itself on the handcrafted items. So it's going to be a slower sell if you're listing your vintage items over there. Not that they won't sell, but that's mainly Etsy's demographic of customer is those who came there because of the homemade type goods. eBay's the flea market. eBay is the place to find anything, and everybody goes there. Like everybody goes there. I know millionaires who go shop for their next collectible car on eBay. You've got millionaires shopping on eBay and you have poor people shopping on eBay. So you have to remember, in your space on eBay, you have to build the demographic that you want to shop from you, because you can be a commodity shop selling, you know, dollar items, or you can be a high-end boutique on eBay. It's all about what you make it. So I actually cross-list on all of the marketplaces, and I use List Perfectly to do that because it makes it super fast and super easy. Some say Etsy has been a better selling site for vintage items than eBay or Mercari or any other site. I haven't found that to be true, but if you've built up your following on Etsy, then that can be true. And a lot of it is, I don't know, Time Traveler Antiques, how much you push people to your Etsy store, but you can build up a following. Yep. You had 3 boxes stolen from your front porch today. Oh, that really, really sucks. That really, really sucks. I am sorry about that, Bernice Marie Vintage. It's the worst. That's the worst. It is the world that we live in now. Yes. You can price a little higher on Etsy. I do find that to be true, but I price high in my eBay store too. I find eBay has a lot more tools that are easier to use for me to do offers and discounts and that kind of thing too. Okay, so we got the lazy part out of the way. So let's keep on with this little conversation. There are also those of you who are lonely, and I totally get that. And sometimes just having something to post in one of the groups, is better than just hanging back and feeling invisible. I can pretty much sense when those are happening. And look, I address all posts. Like, no matter what the motive is, I'm always going to address the post from a place of trying to help you build a business, because that's what I'm here for. But I am very sensitive. If people just need conversation, it's all good. We do that too. Social media probably has saved a lot of people's lives this last year, because loneliness runs deep. And I know, like, even my own church sort of lost sight of the fact, like, they were doing some things like from March, April, May, which were keeping everybody connected. We were doing like a trivia night, and we were doing some live worship sessions and that kind of thing. And then they pulled back and stopped doing them. And I reached out to the pastor and I said, hey, remember, not everyone is on lockdown with a spouse or somebody else to talk to. They might be in that house all by themselves, and your Friday night trivia night is like the thing that they look forward to most that week and stay connected. And I think that was hard for a lot of people to realize, is like during this, it's like not everybody had somebody. I went through some pretty heavy loneliness, when we were like everything closed and can't go do anything. I mean, I'm used to like going out to dinner and I mean, I did a lot of that after my divorce too. I felt that loneliness. And then this just kind of like pushed me a little bit back into that, because friends did not want to go anywhere. I used to be able to call up a friend and say, hey, let's go hit the casino, and play some, I can't remember what craps. That's it. That's the game where you roll the dice. You can tell I'm a heavy gambler, right? And now all of that has just changed. All of that has changed. And so, you guys are asking pricing questions over there. Okay, I'll let you have those conversations. So there are a lot of people using social media to connect. And so we have to be sensitive to that as well. And just be kind out there. Just be kind. I don't give any advice out in my group or anywhere where it isn't with a true, genuine desire for that person to grow and learn and just be better from it. I want everybody to succeed in this business. Like, that is what I am all about. But then there is a point where you get into attention seekers, which is a little different than just someone who's lonely and just starting a conversation. We experience that in the live chat sometimes. We experienced that last Friday. And again, I'm one who always is just very sensitive to what is the underlying reason, but yet protecting all of the other people who are trying to focus and be in a discussion. No, I'm sorry to hear that. Perfecting pearls. Yes, can be hard. Yes, thank you for saying that you've been able to not get depressed because of the resellers community family. Yeah, the reseller community family has been huge. It's been awesome. Awesome. So, I mean, you guys know it's very near and dear to my heart, that commandment that we are to love everyone. And I think a lot of people lose focus on the fact that it isn't just the people who are, ooh, ka-ching. It isn't just the people who are nice to you. It isn't just the people who make your life a joy. It isn't just the people who give back. It is everyone. It is the unhappy people. It is the hurting people. It is the lonely people. It is all of the people who are out there seemingly causing trouble. And my way of addressing that is just be kind. Be kind. 9 times out of 10, kindness will turn that person around and have them have a real conversation. So it is the people we don't agree with. Yeah. Oh, not being able to see your kids and grandkids. Yes, yes. I have a puppy down here. I have to make sure he's not chewing on a cord again. Okay. Last time I ignored the noise he was making at my feet. He was chewing through the internet cable. So, yeah, we don't want that again. That's all fixed. Can you discuss if you have a book out and where to get it? You know, I have written books in the past. I have written Buying at Auction Houses for Fun and Profit. You can find it. I'm going to get some. So don't go pay a bunch of money on Amazon. I'll get some copies. It'll be a much reduced price than what you can find it for on Amazon. I also wrote the Savings by Store along with a co-writer, which was Kat Simpson. And we took 50 different stores, both retail and thrift, and gave you all the ways that you can save money in those stores. It's a little outdated. That one has to be updated with newer information. We wrote that several years ago. And I wrote another book there. I was one of 20 co-authors, which I don't forget about that one. So, oh, is it under $10 now? Well, yippee, there you go. Right on. That book, even though it's an older book, everything in it is still 100% spot on with how to spot things happening at the auction houses. Okay, so we've addressed laziness. We've addressed loneliness. So let's address the confidence. This is a biggie, and I see even seasoned sellers still run into this. All right, and this again, this is why. Oh, yes, I made you a wrench, Perfecting Pearls. You're here every single live, so why wouldn't I? Thank you. So let's address the confidence issue. Now, I want to just say, I was just having this conversation with Bree earlier. One of the reasons I started the Niche Foundation, which is a nonprofit that supports women building their own online business, is because I was one of those women that was in a really bad abusive marriage for 22 years. And what happens over time, you start out as this strong, smart, you got it, you know what you're doing in life and everything, and you get that worn away with someone who is not fully into that relationship for you, and that is a narcissist or just a really, really bad person. They wear that away slowly, subtly. It doesn't happen overnight. It's like they just, over time, you know, keep doing that mental, like, you don't know what you're talking about. You don't know what you're talking about. No, that's a stupid idea. No, why would you think that? You know, and over time, you get to the point where you start questioning every decision you make. And when you're running a business, that becomes a really big problem. Becomes a really big problem. So what I see happening is I see people who already know the answers to their questions. I can tell just by how they wrote the post. But they're second guessing. They're second guessing what they already know and asking for that affirmation and that validation. And I just wish I could just come up with an easy fix for that. But it takes time. Number one, you've got to get out of that bad relationship. You've got to get out of it. And I know that is easier said than done. I'm not saying it's easy. It's torture. Frankly, it's torture when you're dependent on somebody, usually financially. That was my situation, or there's kids involved and all of that. It's really, really hard. But I will tell you, man, I am living proof that life is so much better on the other side. I literally went into a deep, dark depression when my husband left. I thought it was the end of the world. I thought I am never going to be able to make anything of myself because I need somebody. I need him, to be there to help me to no, no, you've got it inside of you. You've just got to build that confidence and get it back. Get it back. And some of you have never had it. I mean, that's hard too. I think I was kind of like that, I was that scrawny, buck-toothed, like, ugly kid, like going through all of my school years, especially middle school, high school. Man, I got teased and picked on. Oh my gosh, group sports like they forced you to do were so dreadful because I was that last person picked because I was also very awkward and clumsy and not very good at sports. And I think where it turned around was when I found something that I was really good at, and that was two things actually. In middle school, I joined band and I played the trumpet, and they moved me up to first chair, and I was the mascot at the sports games. Now I got to do the all that stuff on the sidelines, and so that was a boost in confidence. And then I got into theater, and theater was great because I got to play a part where that person had confidence, and I got to be somebody else. And it kind of worked in my favor too, that I'm like legally blind without glasses. And at that point, I didn't have glasses yet. It hadn't been diagnosed. And so I couldn't even see that there was this audience out there. I just did my thing because I loved it. I loved playing parts and just doing theater. And that's where I started doing like the stage stuff. Then I became a musician. I had my own band back in 1990, and just slowly built that confidence. And that's the point that I met my husband. I was looking for musicians, to put a new band together, and boom, like he knew all my weaknesses, like even told me you can't sing, like, nobody wants to be in the band because of you. Like, I mean, not right at the beginning. I mean, that happened over time, but it just, and he started, I got really good at breeding and raising and training horses. Took that away from me. Then I got really good at the goats. Took that away from me. Well, he could never take eBay away. He tried. He really tried to take eBay away from me. And always told me, okay, I'm going to get really personal here today. So I was doing really well at eBay, like really well. And he would always have to look at the amount I was selling and say, yeah, but you're not really making that much money. It's just still just a hobby income. If you subtract, how much you're spending and blah, 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 And I was like, I'm always looking at it and going, no, but I'm bringing in this much money to the family. And like, nope. But in front of divorce attorneys, all of a sudden, I was making six figures on eBay. Imagine that. All of a sudden, he was just poofing up everything that I did on eBay, because he didn't want to pay child support. So that actually was confidence building too. It was like, wait a minute, you're not crazy. You knew what you were doing back then, right? So that's why I'm like it's my absolute, it's my why, is that I want to help as many women out of that type of situation that I can, and get them on their feet and help them know you can do this. You can do this. You can do this. Like, you are invested in watching the YouTube videos and learning and being in the groups and participating. Like, you have the desire. You've just got to now make the commitment to yourself. Like, take it, run with it, take some risks. And that's where you have to build that confidence. And you build that confidence by taking risks and taking risks of being wrong. That's why I say, don't spend more on something than you don't, how do I phrase it? I'm trying to articulate it. Buy it and know that no matter what, you can get your money back out of it. Okay, so spending $20 on something where you look at it and go, I don't know if it's worth more than 20. I think it's worth more than 20. I actually think it's worth a lot more than 20, but at least I know I can get my money back. So take those chances, and by taking those chances and start building up that inner instinct, that inner gut feeling that tells you what to grab off of the thrift store shelves and from the yard sales and the estate sales, you'll have an edge in your market, and you can make this a much bigger business than just only spending $1 or $2 on things that you can flip for $10 or $15. That's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. So, all right, let me catch up over there. Ooh, sounds to me like this chat is full of warriors, not survivors. Warrior. I love hearing that. I'm gonna have to go back and read the chat when all is said and done today. Yep, yeah, and I know this stuff resonates. I know it is out there so much. I have friends who are in this situation, and it's something you can't tell somebody either. Yes, verbal abuse is still abuse. Mental abuse is abuse. I still want to do this. Like, the book that I want to write is Please Hit Me, because it would have been so much easier if he had laid hands on me. He didn't ever lay hands on me. That's the thing. Mental abuse is sometimes even worse on you than I don't want to downplay physical abuse, but physical abuse gives you you absolutely are in the wrong situation. The mental abuse makes you wonder if you're crazy, makes you wonder if it's all you, if you're the reason your relationship isn't working. Oh my gosh, that was my angst, is like I got into so much self-help stuff because it was like I needed to fix me. I needed to fix me so he would love me and that I would be a good enough wife and all of that. And I'm telling you, that's not it. That's not it. Yeah, or like Tri-State Picker Mom says, why is he being mean? And sometimes you didn't even know, like you walked on eggshell. I'm talking for you, talking for me. I would walk on eggshells because I knew if I screwed up, he'd be mean. I just knew, my whole life was about just making sure I didn't set him off to, yell at me or be unhappy. Rachel still, 13 years old. We've been apart for 4 years. Rachel still, if I raise my voice, she starts crying because yelling scares her, because my ex was a yeller. So I have to be really aware of that. I don't raise my voice very often, but every once in a while I get frustrated and I start I was putting stuff away. This is so bad. I was putting stuff away in my kitchen and realizing how much stuff I had that I just shouldn't have. And I was throwing stuff into a box and I was yelling at it and going, I have too much, something I can't say on YouTube because they'll demonetize me. And I look over and she's sitting on the floor in a little heap with tears streaming down her face. And I'm just like, oh, I felt like the worst mother in the world at that point. And I had to do lots of hugs and talks. But it made me then understand how much it all affected her too. So it affects the kids. Even if it's not directed at the kids, it affects the kids too. Yeah. I'm still insecure about things. I still question myself all the time. But the thing I think too that has helped me a lot is I have a daughter, Jordan, my 28-year-old. You guys see her on my San Diego videos. I lost custody of her when she was 12 years old. And I lost custody because of my ex who I was married to at the time. I didn't know it at the time. I know it now based on things that she was telling people behind the scenes. And we've had very open discussions about it now. But she wanted to go try living at her dad's. And I thought, well, that's a great idea. I mean, then she's going to realize how good she's got it at home, right? So I let her go live with her dad. And then her dad decided he wanted custody. And then, long story short, went through a big battle. I couldn't get her back. And she was being super abused over there because I kind of attract those kind of men, or at least I did. And so as an adult, she got help and she wanted to fix things. And now she's a big empowerment to me when she sees me like doubting and doing things. And I want to give a shout out to Joni over in the chat, who has been one of my great voices of wisdom and helping me be like more secure in this world, because this YouTube world is brutal. For those of you starting channels, I'm just going to tell you right now, no, people are going to attack you. They're going to do it. People are mean. They're just mean because they're hurting, or they're lonely, or they're all these things, or they're just mean. But it's going to happen. So when I first started getting those kinds of comments, I didn't like, it was very much like, oh my gosh, well, what if I am doing this wrong? Oh my gosh, well, what, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm like, and Joni has taught me that I'm not responsible for other people's feelings. I still am very like, how do I say this in a way that's, not like, I don't want it to get taken wrong. But it's true. Like we have no control over how someone else takes things. And we just have to remember that. I don't ever want to hurt anybody. Like, I never want to hurt anybody's feelings. I never want to upset someone. So, but I can't control if what I say in love ends up being taken that way. So between Joni and Jordan working on me, I'm getting better. I take a lot less crapola than I used to. So what you don't see in comments, the public comments, is anyone who has a channel has the ability to filter certain words into a held for review file. So I have a lot of words over there, and people like Crazy Lamp Lady has helped me develop that list and given me some heads up on words to put over there. And but you still see the comments. You still see them come through. You guys won't see them because they aren't allowed through. But they're pretty amazing. And I just feel bad. I just feel bad that people are that unhappy that they have to do that to other people. And usually a narcissist, which is generally who these abusive people are, and I don't want to just say guys, although there's a predominance of guys, there's abusive women too, but narcissists have usually had something in their life that has made them so egocentric and insecure that they don't know anything but this self-protective lash at others. I mean, that's what I have found to be the basis of that narcissism. So they're injured people, they're hurt people, and we can love them, but we can walk away from them. Rejection is hard. Rejection is very hard. It's very hard. I mean, we're designed to be these social creatures. Like we are designed to be amongst each other and have strengths and weaknesses that we can all build on and all of that. So when someone like rejects that, it hurts. It hurts in the core. But yeah, I'm definitely going to have to come back and read the chat. I know I've missed a lot of comments, but I see a lot of you resonating with this, and I'm sorry for that. I mean, I'm sorry that you have to go through that. But I also know that whatever you go through in your life, you can use for something super positive later. Like going through what you go through. Okay, let me give you an example of that. I actually am in it's a membership. It's kind of a business membership. I don't even know what to call it, but it's with a former mob boss. Okay, Michael Francis. Some of you might know the name. I met him when he came and spoke at my church. Here's a guy who was heavy in the mob. Like, I don't know what you guys know about the mob structure, but there are bosses at the top, under bosses, and then captains, and then all of that. Like, he was really high up. His dad was an underboss, and then he was right under his dad. And so he was what's called a made man, meaning like you kind of like born into the mob. I can't even explain all of it. But anyway, he was into it and his dad was into it. Now, part of being in that life is you do really bad things to people. Really bad things to people. Okay. So, and he's never come out and confessed to that, but he has let us be known that, yeah, he had to do that stuff. So here's a guy who has been the absolute ultimate worst of criminals out there, who went to prison, turned his life around, and now because of that experience, he goes and helps these young gang members get out of the gang life. He shows them how to do it. He shows them how to turn their lives around. And he's got that connection and that understanding because of what he lived and what he went through being in something really bad. So that was a really long way of saying, like, you can take whatever you've been through in your life and turn it to good. There we go. There's the condensed version. So let me try to catch up on the chat here just a little bit. Yeah, there's some good resources out there. There are some good resources out there. That's one of the things I also want to do with the Niche Foundation, is come up with other nonprofits to connect women to just really, really get women on their feet. Yeah. It's taken me about 4 years. Yep. Oh, Jess, email me. Email me. I'm very, 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 very familiar with the family court system, and I completely understand your fear. It is why I didn't leave. It's truly why I didn't leave. Yeah. 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 Anyone who's in that type of a situation, I am always willing to talk to you. Because sometimes you need somebody who's been through it as opposed to just others kind of giving advice. So yeah, Jess OG, email me. Let's talk. Let's talk for sure. I understand the fear 100%. So please send me an email. Yeah. And anyway, like, it's real. It's real. It's debilitating fear of getting out of that situation. It truly is. Yeah. But it will make your life so much better. Joanne, that's why you became a nurse. To thank God for saving your life. That's awesome. It's awesome. Yeah, a lot of you have that court experience. Yeah. Well, trust me, I know more about the family court system than I wish I did. It is brutal. It is brutal. Yeah, it just breaks my heart. Just breaks my heart. Anyone who's in that situation. I know he doesn't watch my channel. Nah, there's nothing. Here's the thing. There is absolutely nothing he can do to me now. There's nothing. He can't bring me down. He can't upset me. Um, he can irritate me. Like he does that. But he's got the kids, and if he does anything with the kids, man, I'm Mama Bear on it. So, but that's the thing. I used to be afraid of that. I used to be afraid that he could turn the kids against me, and I don't fear that anymore. Yep. 13 years, 36 years later, still afraid of him. Yep. I hate that. Yeah, could get into a whole conversation about how things are skewed in the court systems because we're insecure, because we go in there looking insecure and they use all these things against us. I get it. I get it. Yeah. But bringing it back to business and, we're in this to be financially secure, right? It's all about financial security. And you need confidence for that. You need to trust your instincts. You need to trust that what you're doing in your business is the right direction. And that's really what I want the group to be for, is for you to just bounce things, to just give you that, like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm on the right track. And to celebrate when you have a big win, like you sell something, you took the chance and you bought something and it sold. Man, that's the stuff that builds us up. That's the stuff that motivates everybody else when you write it in there too. So, and celebrate your wins. I can't stress this enough. This is for everybody. This is for everybody, because we all go through things. We all have frustrations in life. We all have things that hold us back. And one of the things that's been really, really life-changing for me is every single day, write down your wins. I have a Google spreadsheet. And that means I got down and picked up the mail today. When I make a to-do list every day. So for me, my wins are also the things that I check off on that to-do list. I got that done. Yay. I hung that picture straight. Yay. It sounds silly. It sounds like, well, that's like, why would I do that? But it's stop texting me during this. Okay. It's a brain training mechanism. Every time you give yourself a win, like writing down that win, acknowledging that win, you build your confidence and you build your motivation to do more. So I really want to encourage everyone, you cooked a fantastic dinner. It doesn't even have to be fantastic. You cooked an edible dinner, okay? That's a win. That's a win. You got the dog to mind you. That's a win. Write it down. And then you get to go back and look at your list and go, hey, you know what? Look, I am good. I am good at doing things. Look at what I can get done, right? So give yourself some wins. All right. What do we got happening over in the chat there? You ate dinner as a win. You know what? And depending where you're at, sometimes it is I got out of bed. That's a win. Because I understand the days you don't want to do that. You don't want to get out of bed. You don't want to face the world. You just don't, right? So count it as a win. Count it as a win. Mine is that's my new kick. I made my bed. I've never been a bed maker in my past, but you know what? It feels good. It feels good to celebrate. Like, you know what? I made my bed. Like, and it looks good now. When I walk into my bedroom, that bed is made, and it's like, oh, yeah. And trust me, those I get the chronic illnesses and diseases. And it's like, I have rheumatoid arthritis and Crohn's disease. Trust me, I understand. There are days where don't want to function, don't want to function. And so celebrate every little thing that you accomplish. Just do it. And some of you don't feel good about celebrating yourself, and that needs to change. It is okay to celebrate yourself. Celebrate your good ideas. Celebrate the things you get done. Celebrate your strengths and build on them. Oh, wow, Polly's projects. Okay. All right. So you know. Yeah, we've all got something. We've all got something. I'm telling you. So I'm glad we had this conversation. I am glad we had this conversation. It's been heavy on my mind. Just kind of watching as the Facebook group grows and the types of messages like coming through. Yeah. Yeah. And sometimes you have to do things to take care of yourself too, especially with the health issues. I just want to celebrate today. I am officially caffeine free. Yay! I was a Dr. Pepper-aholic. I don't even know for how many years, but it was the big joke. My kids knew, better have Dr. Pepper in the house or mom's not going to be happy. And I switched from the Dr. Pepper to these caffeinated sparkling waters. And I was on the caffeinated sparkling, I was on the like the big ones. But then I started feeling like I could feel like edgy. I felt edgy. I'm like, oh, I need to cut this back. So then I found ones that were only like 30 milligrams of caffeine. So I switched to those. And now I'm drinking straight on just sparkling water. Because I trained my taste buds down to the sparkling water. And then I cut the caffeine. Yes, there's caffeinated sparkling water. Yes. They're called lightly caffeinated sparkling water. Yeah, I got them on Amazon. I can't find them like at the stores. I had to get them from Amazon. Yep. So cutting the soda was big to me because I can't for the life of me get my teeth white. Like I've tried like every product out there and I knew that was contributing. So I was motivated to see if that, would help. It's helped a little. It's helped a little. But then I thought, I don't need all this sugar. I don't need all this sugar. Sugar bad. Yeah. "10 years without a cigarette, Nancy. Nice. Nice, nice, nice." Yeah. And sometimes we don't cut those things out because we don't love ourselves enough. I know I'm gonna touch a chord there, but we have to care enough about ourselves to give up these things we know are bad. Like we know when we have a bad habit. We know. We know. Okay. I still have a little box of licorice drops next to my bed that so my candy habits, the next one I have to give up. So, because sugar's like always been a big nemesis for me. So I'm working on the sugar next. I'm working on the sugar next. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm sorry you're depressed, Kimberly. You know what helps for me is starting to recognize that it was depression. Like just being able to recognize that the state of mind you're in is depression and that it's not the way it is. It's not permanent. And let it ride itself out and get back on top of it. And then those depressive episodes became less and less. So, yeah. I know a lot of you love your coffee. Noah drinks coffee now. Noah drinks coffee. Yep. And caffeine also, if you are anxious, if you have anxiety, that caffeine is not helping. Trust me. You cut the caffeine, it cuts your anxiety level too. I see a lot of my fellow soda-aholics over there. An eraser board on a fridge, categories, goals done, and what you're grateful for. Yeah, someplace where you head to all the time and you can check off and just give yourself wins and celebrate. You will be amazed, amazed what a big difference that will make in just your whole mental state each day. I was not a believer in it. I had somebody nag me to do it. So I'm nagging you guys to do it. Took me a year to really start doing it. Do it. It will be huge for you. Guaranteed. Just try it for a week. 1 week. Do the 1 week challenge of just writing down your wins and celebrating yourself. Depression can be chemical also, but we can also train our brain out of those chemicals. Can do it. Doesn't make it so it goes away forever, but it does make it controllable. You drink Dr. Pepper by the 6-pack. Ah. Yeah, we could do a whole conversation about our food system out there. I got my organic seeds that I am going to get to start planting soon. And we're growing our own. The kids are actually excited about growing a garden. So I'm excited about growing the garden. We're taking some really big steps to just try to get healthier, eat better foods. The stuff we put into our bodies is definitely affecting our society as a whole. You know, even things you think are healthy are not healthy. That's a whole research education thing in and of itself. That's what I've been diving into a lot. Really started when I was diagnosed with the Crohn's and like, okay, what I can eat, because I don't like taking pills. So I wanted to learn how to control it myself. So I know the things that I will pay for. Just put it that way. I am not telling anybody to go off your meds. Oh gosh, no. I'm not saying that at all. No, it's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying if you do these other things, you could, if you wanted to, you could wean yourself off of those drugs. You have to want to though. Like it's because it's not easy. It's not easy. It's a training of the brain. You have to retrain your brain. Yep. You did okra last year, and this year we'll add carrots and green beans. I found this, I'm really bad about those late night, scrolling through Facebook and the ads pop up kind of thing. And I don't even know, like this ad for this variety pack of these organic seeds popped up, and I think there's like 10 or 12 varieties of fruits and veggies. So I'm like, oh, there, I'll get that. And they actually showed up. So surprise. So that's what we're doing. Oh, walking's good too. Fresh air. Sunshine. Sunshine is your vitamin D, folks. Sunshine is your vitamin D. For those of us who can't absorb vitamin D through foods or a pill, I have to get out in that sun or I get very, very deficient. I think that's why winters are really hard for me too. So, yep, sunshine's important. All right, everyone. I have loved talking with you all. Again, those of you who need to reach out, theniche.lady@gmail.com. I'm there. I may not be very fast at getting back to you, but I read every single email. Nobody does that for me. I do read every comment. I don't always get to reply to all the comments because there are hundreds per day. But I do read them all and I try to answer as many as I can. And of course, there's a Facebook group, The Niche to Profit on eBay, Etsy, and more, where we talk about how to make your business better. All right. Love you guys. Thank you to the moderators. You keep everything flowing over there. And I will I think I'll be posting tomorrow our little trip to the bins today. So I'm excited. I'm excited to go to the bins. So we're getting ready to go do that soon. And with that, go be profitable and make it fun. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye, everyone.